Hi, I'm Taj, and this is my creative process for someone in the multimedia industry from the view of a filmmaker. And the very first one is it says, what is the story you want to tell? And that's usually your client or the professor in my case. He gives us a topic he wants us to do a video project on, and from there we take the general question, and that's when we have to find out what it is we really want to do with the story. And then from there, we go to the second step, which is to brainstorm. And when you brainstorm, you start with that basic idea. Let's say I want to tell a story about flying a kite, and you have to add on to the story how you want it to end, the beginning, middle, and end, any type of climax throughout the whole story. And through all that, you're going to go through a lot of paper. You're going to have a lot of messing up until you find the perfect idea. And then that's when you find out what you really want to do. And then from there, you go to the next step, the third step, which is your checklist before you go out and shoot. You have to make sure you have a camera, a video camera, your tripod if you really want your shots to be steady, a mic if you want to capture your voice in the documentary you may do, and most importantly, the people. If you're going to have people be a part of your story, you have to make sure they're reliable and everything. They'll be there, which dates you have to set up for them. And then from there, you go to the next step, which is shoot. And you get there, you find your scenery, the perfect background and everything, and you get to do your story. You do as many takes as you need to until you get it perfectly. And then from there, once you get that perfect shot, you redo it. You reshoot is what we call it in the industry, because usually the first one or the first few times you do it's not perfect. You go back and review your footage, and you can find something that you might have made a mistake on that you could do a lot better. And once you do that, then you have at most two pieces of full video that you can really go home and edit and work on. Which brings me to the next step, which is to edit. And you go home, you open up Final Cut Pro, and then you begin editing. And when you're editing, it's a very long process. It depends how long and how precise you really want to be with your video project. And from there, I just drew like the camera hooking up to the computer. That's like you giving your data into it so you can edit and everything. And once you finally get that perfect video together, you upload it, save it to your file drive, and then you bring it to class and you showcase your work. When you showcase your work, this is the class, you're going to get critiqued. And they're going to tell you things about it in which they liked, things they didn't like, things you could, the most important thing is things you can work on. And from there, you go back a step to edit, and you re-edit. Just like you reshot, you go back to re-editing. And that's when you really make the perfect video. Bring the work back, and then you're finally finished. And that brings you to the very last step, which goes back to the very first step, which is what is the story you want to tell? Because in my eyes, it's a never-ending process that goes on and on until you really become perfect at what it is you do. That is my creative process.